Good morning, everybody. Guess what time it is? It is currently 4:13 a.m. in the morning. Yep, I don't know what's going on with these early mornings, but you know what? I'm enjoying everyone's asleep and get to think very clearly on a lot of things. But I thought I'd give you an update on my last day, over the last 24 hours, as per usual, doing the daily update so you can see how I'm building out Faiā. Business company that is currently focused around helping to ignite blockchain communities. And if you've been following along, you're gonna see how I'm starting all of this from scratch and to where it will be within the next decade. So, thought I'd share with you. So I'm just gonna share my screen. A few things from the last 24 hours. So, since I'm involved with the blockchain space, this is coinmarketcap.com. Even back when I had launched an interview series on YouTube, I had these sermons called the Sunday Sermons. And at the beginning of these sermons, and the reason where the sermons came into play was because people were, it started out as a joke, were calling me the Bitcoin preacher and Bitcoin BCH preacher, and then it was like, hey, let's run with that theme. So anyways, coinmarketcap.com. This site is usually good for showcasing, where each of the coins are at. You can adjust, of course, what you're looking at. Who are the biggest losers, who are the largest winners, etc. If you're into the trading side. But this will probably feature more and more, just so you can see sort of the daily ups and downs. And really, long term, that's what I'm most interested in. Primarily, actually, a lot of folks are focused on the technology side. I'm focused on the people side because I've been involved in community management and have been involved on the ground with the blockchain space, primarily with Bitcoin Cash, but have had context and I'm putting my ear to the ground a lot of the time with some of the other large market cap coins that you see there. So top 5 to see what is happening with the ways that the communities interact, how the influencers interact, their ambassadors, marketing, communications, PR, all of that I'm constantly analyzing. And I hope to share actually more about that in terms of what I see uniquely about each of these areas within the space. So, and that actually brings me back to, brings me to the people and tech side. So I'm just going to look for a particular quote. And I'm starting to see more and more of this. So it says here, we need to create something people can use without knowing it runs on blockchain. This came from cryptomanran. He was another influencer known for a CNBC show called Crypto Trader. And on Crypto Trader, the show's been ongoing for a while now. And Ran has definitely been a good influencer in the space, interviewed a lot of key players. But I would have to agree with him on this. I think the problem right now is that it's become a little bit elitist, the blockchain space at least, whereby it's only people who obviously are in the know, who understand what's going on. They're the ones, but to be fair, they're the innovators, but they're the ones who are at the forefront. And it's making it very difficult for other people outside of these circles to actually wrap their head around blockchain, cryptocurrencies, ICOs, etc. And what a lot of these groups are trying to do, though, is to make it easier for the average person to be able to use, cryptocurrencies, assets, etc., and engage. So with that, because you have a whole bunch of folks who were technologists primarily, whether they were developers, programmers, miners, crypto anarchists, whatever, they like attracts like. So a lot of times in these circles and at these events around blockchain, you will see similar types. But if we are to go to that next level, and I think we'll see that over the next couple of years, still think we got about 10, 20 more years until full global mainstream adoption. But over the next couple of years, you'll start to see more attempts for people to, one, improve on UI, UX, two, get people outside of the normal circles engaged and understanding, and making it more relatable. So the reason why I share all this with you is because it is part of what I look at as I'm focusing in on my niche and building out the business for Faia. Right. So from the more just the general business side of things, I was actually looking at our business model. So now that we know that the business model is really around consulting and taking into account what I said before, we don't scale, we magnify. The consulting, there are many examples of successful consulting firms and practices, and that business model is a tried and true one. Correct. So let's not reinvent the wheel. The only thing that's really different is our niche. So we're looking at community engagement and management within the blockchain space, and the way in which we do that or execute on it is what sets us apart, makes us unique. All right, and this is how most people, starting out with me in terms of what I know, but I'm building out processes so that we can actually bring on people in the future following our methods, the Faiā method, of engaging and managing communities, and enacting it and unfolding it that way. So in terms of research, it's interesting. There was this PDF, and there's that saying of the simplicity, man. Simplicity is good, because I've read a lot of content, and this one here, even though this one is actually looking at, I think, consulting for a specific area. I think it was raising funds for nonprofits, but everything that they talk about when it comes to setting up a consultancy firm is actually like spot on here. And one of the things I learned at Tony Robbins, and I've actually done this multiple times without realizing it, is when you are looking to master something, you need to immerse yourself first in that world, and then you need to also find somebody who's doing what you seek to do, a master, and learn directly from them. So right now I'm in the immersion stage. I've taken massive action. I'm immersing myself, but I'm also going to be finding a master. So to find a master, I need to find someone who has built a very successful consulting practice or firm, because I'm not looking to just be one consultant, just do this on my own. Been there, done that in the past, and it's not fun. It's better when you can play in a team sport, right, with a group of people. And I'm a community manager after all, so the idea of building out a group of people around a vision or a purpose, that's what excites me. So I was looking at this particular resource, and if you want it, ask away, and I can put the link in the comments somewhere. Here's another tool that I use to actually do further research insights into particular keywords in any space. So if you're watching this and you're interested in doing some research and finding out trends around your particular niche, find out the keywords, related keywords, organic search, SEM Rush is one of the best in the game when it comes to that. So I looked, keyword blockchain, okay, and for me in particular, I'm a lot more interested in Singapore, Asian market, because that's where I'm moving into. My gut has been telling me to go there. I'm going there in November. So I've been doing some research into the sort of, the popularity of blockchain trends, whether it's rising, falling, and on the whole, it is rising. All right, you can see right here. Okay, the word Bitcoin, or the keyword Bitcoin, actually is a lot more popular than blockchain, but that's fair enough, right? Because Bitcoin is what most people know and hear about. But the underlying technology, blockchain, is also where there's a lot of growth opportunity. And that's what I foresee. Bitcoin is the OG, right? The father, the grandfather of in terms of its application of blockchain tech. But there's a lot of other things happening within blockchain, within the blockchain ecosystem, that I think presents itself for a lot of opportunities for new jobs, new career paths. And that's what we are betting on. Okay, so got here. Let's have a look. All right, CPC organic search, 8.1K, number of results 181 million. Paid search, yep. Organic search results. So yeah, these are good, right? Organic search results, it can show you just what is available. Got ads history, phrase match related keywords. This one's useful, related keywords, right? So not only when it's not only just the keyword for blockchain, but like what other words are people using when they're searching for blockchain? Okay, so you can see here, blockchain, blockchain technology. What is blockchain? Blockchain wiki, Bitcoin blockchain. Once again, Bitcoin, blockchain wallet, internet wiki, hash blockchain. Okay, blockchain obviously is the other result. That makes sense because if people don't know that it's a single word, they'll look it up in two. All right. So I highly recommend checking out SEM Rush if you get a chance. If you're in the research phase of your business, one of the things that I did is that I've been observing this space for a while. This isn't the only research I've done. I've been doing research over the last year and a half in terms of in terms of observation and being involved in communities and conversations within the Bitcoin world. That was there on and off from about 2013. It wasn't until about late early 2016 that I got back into the Bitcoin space, and then we saw what happened towards the end of 2017. I remember early 2016, I was hearing murmurs again, and I was like, feels like a good time to get in, and luckily I did get in at that time. So it is what it is. Other bits. Okay, I'm sharing some stuff with you guys that not everybody will know about, but because this is a daily file, I want to show you all the things that are going through my head. Now, blockchain will come. I actually started a series called Bitcoin Will Come a while back, so I'm going to show you what that was, and it was BWC. So let's go here, search account, let's go Bitcoin Will Come. Wow, those some interesting videos there. All right, right up here. Okay, so let's go my channel. Okay, so here's some interesting insights, right? One thing I've been able to do whenever I've launched something is, if you want to make a name for yourself or increase your influence, find out who the influencers are in that space and literally just go and interview them, talk to them, because that can help you gain a standing much quicker than if you were to try to do it another route. And the reason why the interview method is so effective is because there's mutual value. There's value for yourself in terms of learning. That's primarily why I do interviews with folks, whether it's podcasts or YouTube interviews. But then there's also the opportunity for the person you're interviewing to get more exposure. And, luckily I had already been talking to a few of the key influencers in the Bitcoin Cash space originally. But you can see here, for a YouTube channel off the bat, couple K views, decent, it's not, millions, but it was enough to be able to get me, 360 subscribers as well off the bat. Now, timing is a very important thing. When I launched this, you can see there was 7 months ago. That was at near the time that Bitcoin Cash, not too soon after it forked. And it was also around that November period, right, when there was more hype. So a lot more people looking up Bitcoin. I use Bitcoin Will Come because that's what people are using more than other words. And so now that I've captured that, I'm going to be leveraging that and relaunching the brand. We're just renaming it slightly to Blockchain Will Come as opposed to Bitcoin. And the reason for that is to also tie in to what I'm doing with Faiā. Because with Faiā, which is our business, it's about igniting blockchain communities, not just Bitcoin communities, right? So by having the blockchain bit in there, okay, as you can see, Blockchain Will Come. That'll be like the show, and you can see brought to you by Faiā. So Faiā is obviously the company. We'll be using this as a way to let people know about the services that we will be offering, which will be around community engagement and management. Once again, this is going to be the way that we do it is what's unique about us. All right. So what I was testing is just the red versus the green, because the brand colors for Faiā, the corporate colors are actually red, white, and black. And for Blockchain Will Come, actually we're feeling the green. So, I just wanted to show those variations. But hey, if you actually got a preference on one of these two, feel free to share it in the comments below, whether you like the red or actually the green. I would love to know. And you can see here, exploring the people side of blockchains, cryptocurrencies, ICOs, and more. So one of the gaps that we see is that there are a lot of folks looking only at the technology side of blockchains, cryptocurrencies, ICOs, and more. One of the things that I've always been bringing to the table here is actually the people side. Hence why I'm involved in community management for this space. All right, and I say this to people that I'm talking to, and these are prospects and clients, that if you take a look at the coins that are the top 5, top 10, right? A lot of these coins, the strength of the community is actually strongly correlated to the strength of the coin itself. All right, and there is that's no accident, because in these early stages, so if you say, for example, if you've got an ICO or a company that you're looking to build or grow, the strength of your community is based on the strength of your vision, and the strength of that vision will then entail a lot more attention and growth towards whatever venture it is that you're looking to build. All right, so they say it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it also takes a community to raise a business. All right, and it's different for different types of business, right? If you look at, say, Coinbase or other institutional, other businesses that have institutional investors, right? Their community just might be a little bit smaller, tighter, with higher net worth investors. Right? There can be a community as well. In the business world, all right? So the definitions of community is a topic for another day, but that's usually how it is perceived. So that's Bitcoin Will Come. Now, the other thing that I've been looking at, of course, is my visa requirements to get into Singapore. So a friend of mine who works in Singapore, who lives there, she was kind enough to actually send me a bunch of links to different firms. Now, apparently Future Books is one of those groups that help foreigners move to Singapore, set up and incorporate, etc. They say, Singapore is one of the most foreigner-friendly places to set up and do business, but I also know that they seek the best. They seek innovators. They seek people who want to be doing something different. And if you don't know the story of Kuan Yew, who is considered to be the father of Singapore, founder. This guy here, man, he's got an incredible story of how he turned Singapore from a third world country to a developing nation, right? To a first world now, within 50 years, right? That's like almost unheard of. Set up as a city state, but now, they are just outputting so much more. And one of the things I loved reading about him is that he knew that they did not have any natural resources that they could lean on or depend on, like Australia, right? He said that Singapore's strength was its people and its knowledge, right? So that ties very strongly to a consultancy, right? And why we say we don't scale, we magnify. Because with a consultancy as well, our IP, our strength is going to be in our people, right? And my vision and plan is to be able to hire and employ highly specialized experts within the blockchain space, but with that angle or bend around building the people in the space. All right, so we are starting out with the community side, but I do foresee us expanding out into other areas so long as it's based on the people element. All right, so yeah, Lee Kuan Yew. I think I'm gonna have to pick up some books about him too because, oh man, just everything about him. For some reason, I resonate with him and his story. And Singapore immersion again. I'm going to Singapore because it has that energy of people of a nation that was small in size but big in impact, and that's what I want our business to be about as well. All right, so that's Lee Kuan Yew. A little bit of a diversion, but a relevant one. Now I want to go. All right, so that's the visa side. Oh, this is just a review of the last 24 hours. One of my Paxters and friends, personal friends, Anthony Chansamuth, he and his wife have created a new business called called Founders Connect. And Anthony is a great content marketer. A copywriter. You can see here is a massive guide, right, for financial intimacy and I think this is a great business actually because I've been through this myself. Previously, was married, still young, but money can impact a relationship, right? It often does. And it's important for you and whoever you're with to be on the same page, or at least the understanding and the willingness to grow together from a financial level. And especially if you're an entrepreneur or married to one, right? The entrepreneurial tendency is to constantly be out there doing, innovating, creating. And if you do not have the inclination for that, it may be a very tough ride if you're not understanding. So yeah, just go to this URL if you want to check it out. If you also want me to just paste it in the comments, just put that in the comments. Okay, so I've gotten access to this new forum. It's not really a forum. It's actually a little bit better than a forum, but it's a community platform called Tribe, and I've just been taking a look at it. Going to be setting up a time to speak with our founder, but the reason why I'm looking at this is because I'm looking for partnerships with people who have innovative platforms or tools that assist both us as a team at Faiā and our clients to build more engaged communities and manage them more effectively as well. So there's tribe.so. I think this would be really good for a crypto-based venture enterprise. Of course, you have your common tools like Slack, Discord, Telegram. And speaking of Telegram, I should probably show chatmod.io. I'm going to be interviewing the founder of this tool soon as well. And when I say interview, so remember we were talking about blockchain will come. Yeah, so we're going to be relaunching that most likely towards the end of the year or January. It's going to be around that period. There's a timing thing here. I'm getting a sense for it, but we're preparing everything now. And yeah, it's going to be around the people side of blockchain and crypto. So yeah, ChatMod though, great tool, great UX, UI design, and it's focused primarily on helping you to scale your conversations and manage your community through Telegram. One of the things though that I kind of do suggest or look at for any tool is like its integratability. So I did this even when I was working for Iris, which is a financial tech company, big player here. They're a global company. But even when I was helping to transform their internal comms and collaboration tools at Iris, was looking at, okay, when we're making these decisions around our tools, one, are they future proof, as far as we can go? And also, how well do they integrate? Because there's a trend around, I think the players that are going to make it or succeed are the ones who integrate well with others. And, so I look at that. So even here with Tribe, I'm asking questions around like, does it integrate with other tools, whether that be Telegram, Slack, etc. Do they have open APIs that allow for that type of functionality or integration? So yeah, this is an exciting one that I'll be taking a look at as well soon. Got an invitation into Ampersy. which I think is more about just helping the next generation with 1 hour of your time. So I want to be taking a look at that. I've got, put that there. That's Close, which is Close. Yeah, I think I spoke about this CRM a while back. But that, now let me see if I can switch this up. All right. Boom, boom. Switching back. Okay. There. Gotcha. Hello. So that's a recap for the last 24 hours. I will continue to do these as much as I can on a daily basis. You know, if I miss a day or two, maybe because it's either a weekend or I'm out somewhere. But the idea is to commit to this and keep the momentum up as much as I can. So, yeah, that's a recap for 24 hours. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you got something out of it. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comments below. But as always, remember, through patience and persistence, it will come.